Today in Chok Israel, for Wednesday, for Parashat Chayei, we covered several subjects. In the Mishnah and the Gemara, we spoke about the responsibility of a person for his liability when something that he has done has caused an injury to another person or has caused damage to his assets or his property. And the example is a person who digs a well in a public area and leaves the well uncovered, even though his intention was to collect water in that well. If somebody falls in that well, the person would be liable. However, if the person, after digging the well, gave it over to the public officially by giving it over to the public for its own benefit, then he's basically released himself of any liability. In the Mishnah, we spoke also about somebody allowed to bring something into the courtyard of a person. So the owner of that courtyard, does he become responsible by allowing the person to bring the item into his courtyard? There's a question whether he accepted formally responsibility or not. So one opinion is that the minute he allows him to bring the item into his backyard, or his front yard, his courtyard, he's become responsible for it. If, let's say, he had an animal that broke that item that was brought in, or maybe he had to accept formally responsibility, and that's how the halakha is according to Rabbi, because Rabbi says, "Eno chayav ad sheikaber al lishmor." When does he become liable? Only if he formally accepted responsibility for that item that is brought into this courtyard. So that was the subjects that we dealt with in the Mishnah and in the Gemara. In the Zohar, we spoke about the great virtue of Torah, of learning Torah. Torah is a protection for Am Yisrael. And how when a person learns Torah and dedicates himself to learning Torah, that is something that will serve as a protection for him. And we see it many times, even in our communities. As Sephardim, we're proud to be Sephardic. But many times, unfortunately, the emphasis is put more on the folklore and the culture as a way to preserve our tradition and our heritage, when actually that is not guaranteed. The only guarantee is only if we highlight and emphasize the Torah itself, which is the true source of life, and it's really the core of our heritage. So as long as we emphasize the Torah, that will be a protection for us and for our descendants. If the only thing that we emphasize is just culture, the types of food, the type of music, the type of things that are typical to our countries of origin, if we don't include in the Torah with it, then we don't have the core. And the core is really the Torah. For Am Yisrael, the core is the Torah. For Sephardim, the core is the Torah for the perpetuation, for the nitzchiyut of Am Yisrael. So the Zohar spoke about the great merit of learning Torah as a way to protect Am Yisrael, to protect also the individual Jewish people. The halakha, Sukkah spoke about certain averot that are very grave that a person should not transgress. And he spoke even if a person was going to get a healing by transgressing this averot, like in the averot are like arayot, promiscuity, avodah zarah. These are looked very, very serious, and a person should not transgress those three main, very, very serious and grave averot, which is promiscuity, idolatry, and murder. In the Musar, we spoke about the importance of Yirat Shamayim, to be God-fearing, and how a person should have that approach, that attitude that we spoke earlier this week and recently about the mitzvah of simcha, to serve Hashem with joy, with happiness. There is another aspect to serve Hashem in awe, and both of them are important, and both of them come in the pasuk vegilu bir'ada, and rejoice in trembling, which means combine the aspect of serving Hashem besimcha, ahava, with love, should also have with the tir'ah, which is the fear and the awe of Hashem. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.